and I kick it out. You understand, with that spiritual discernment. So yeah. So I keep it, man. I keep it straight with myself. I don't sugarcoat nothing when it comes to myself, and my family don't enable me. And I tell anyone that I socialize with, deal with, don't ever enable me. Tell me the truth, tell me the facts, give it to me raw. I don't want to hear that, oh, maybe if. No, I don't do the maybes. We don't do maybes. We don't do the if. I just want to hear facts. And from the facts, I seek and do, period.
All right. That's what I like to hear, man. So I like to hear. So, like, when you do get in a depressive state of mind, what kind of brings you back? What are some tools that you use to, like, cope?
So when I get into that funk, like I said, I usually would, I would, like, leave the house. I walk everywhere. You'll see me walking, right?
Right.
And not just walking, just talking to strangers, anybody, right? Because I'm a social person, and I'm from Florida, so we're a little bit different down there. And
y'all jits different for real.
Yeah, of course, man. So we're a little bit different, man. We're a different kind of breed of peoples, man. And so I like I said, I do art. I play the violin. I haven't played in a minute. I got to get the thing fixed, right? I got to get the pen put back in there, right? So I do the things, man, that make me happy. I'm a computer freak. I fix computers, all that stuff. So I'm a geek for real. But I draw on those things that make me happy, right? And I go to either one of those. Something is gonna, pique my interest to forget about where I'm at.
Right. What part of Florida did you grow up?
Tallahassee.
Tallahassee?
Capital.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Florida State, baby. Florida
Tally.
State. Yeah.
Word.
Yes, sir.
So, like, did you stay there for a good time, or?
Backwards and forth, Florida and Massachusetts. Florida, Massachusetts. Then I go to down in Macon, Georgia, see family there, Georgia.
Word.
And I go, I go to D.C., see family. I'm back in Boston. Go back home, and
Word.
I'm a little homesick now. I ain't been home in a while. So,
you missed the weather?
yeah, I definitely miss the weather, but the one thing I miss the most is the family. But I love my fishing, so I love doing that saltwater fishing, because you can't catch no mullet fish up here.
Yeah.
So, so that's what I miss the most, man. About home, and that's what I enjoy doing. These are things I enjoy doing.
So how's it like in Tally?
Man, the hospitality is beautiful, bro. You go anywhere and everybody just always, how you doing? I mean, you got your bad spots everywhere you go in this country, right? Mm-hmm. It's what you do, right? You can go in the worst place in this country, right? As long as you carry yourself in a respectable way, you good, because you're not looking to be a part of the things that brings problems to oneself. You don't have to look for no trouble. Trouble will find you no matter where you go. It'll find you in the church, it'll find you in the parking lot, it'll find you in the school, it'll find you on a train, it will find you at a beach, it will find you anywhere. So that's
literally.
Don't worry about that. So yeah. So it's a lot of work, bro. But as long as you, like I said, you stay focused, man. It's hard to stay focused, man. But as long as you stay focused and just be true to yourself, man, you accomplish everything that you need to accomplish. And the first thing, man, you gotta love yourself, man. If you don't love yourself, bro, you're not going nowhere. You're not going nowhere. And then I don't want to hear that, I love this person, but you hate yourself. No, it don't work that way. You can't love this person, don't love yourself. It don't work that way. You gotta love yourself first. When you love yourself first, man, them doors open up. You knock the shame off, you knock the guilt off, you knock all the nonsense off, and you just, man, you happy, man. You free. Your spirit, your neshama, everything is free, and that ruach, your spirit, it just guides you, man. And that's what people, they scared to tap into that. It's a taboo, I guess. I don't know.
So you mentioned fear and shame earlier. So how does that correlate with, like, depression, fear and shame?
Because when you fear something and you're ashamed of something, that's 9 times out of 10 of your behavior, right? Because if it's not a moral issue, you wouldn't fear anything or be ashamed of anything. And so when you have something that you ashamed of, it might not be due to your fault. It could be because of what somebody else done. what was done to you,
Yeah.
and that is a big problem, you know, and so you once you understand those things, man, you can pretty much deal with it, you know, because those things will cause you to stay in that run. You know, you like I said, three things that people always do, unconscious or conscious, right? Is they let their shame stop their growth. They let their um, they excuses stop their true communication, and they guilt cause them, and fear cause them to not reach out, right? And so your excuses is nothing but a lie. That's all excuses is a lie. It's not the truth, yeah, I mean, at all.
Yeah.
Because men don't make excuses, women don't make excuses, right? People who make most people who make excuses, the individual want to get out of things, get out of situations. Shame, you don't have the strength yet to confront your situation or the situation you was put into, you know. And these are the things that people don't know how to really deal with, and these are the things you have to learn how to deal with to move forward.
Mm. So how does someone move forward from something that they feel ashamed about, but they didn't do, or and they blame themselves for it?
You can't blame yourself for anything someone done to you, or you can't blame yourself for a predicament that you was put in. The only thing you can blame yourself is being ignorant. That's a self-destructive situation, right? That's something that you done to yourself, right? That's something you choose to be. That's something that you want to be, right? When someone or something have something that occurred in your life, or something that people, or places, or things, or something, wherever, however you want to look at it, when these things come upon you, it's not your fault at all. It's not your fault, period. So you can't be ashamed of what the person who did what they did to you, or you can't be ashamed of a situation you was put in, right? The only thing you can do, and what you should do, that should be your strength. Your strength to be able to take back your status as a woman, as a man, as a human being from the individual or the situation, and move forward. Like, hold on, I'm not letting this. No,
Exactly.
and you can. And once you do that, man, you can address and deal with anything, right? It just, you need to want it, and you need to seek it, and then you need to do it.
Have you ever felt like ashamed for something? Maybe it's something that you might have done or might have not done, or just your past, and like you kind of let that kind of like get a hold of yourself right now, currently?
Yeah. Hurting people when I got into physical fights, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the moment, I enjoyed crushing a person, right? Because I felt that the person pushed me to that level, because I didn't want to go that route, but some people, you know, force you to do the things to them, right? And after you end up doing what you done to them, and see the results, and see that, listen, this person would never be right no more, because you just, you know, cracked his skull with a back spinning elbow or something like that, and
Yeah.
this person don't function anymore. And you see him, and you can see it, that person doesn't function anymore. That's what you did. That's what I did to that individual, right? Where I easily could have just been like, you know what, man, I'm not going to do this to you, man. I'm not going to, you know, your life and your stability, man, is more important than my emotions, right? And so I think about some of the fights that I had, and I feel very ashamed of it, man. Because I was raised, like I said, I'm a straight up country boy. And my family is Cherokee in Florida, right? They straight natives, right? And the way we was raised, man, that we was raised in a way that we know nothing about fighting. We didn't know anything about that stuff until we moved up here to Massachusetts. Never fought nobody, nothing, none of that. So we was raised, your friends and your peoples are your brothers and sisters. You don't
Yeah.
fight and hurt your peoples. That's how I was raised in Florida. So when I came up here, it was like it was a culture shock. Everyone was different. You know, they
When did you
felt
come out here?
I
What age?
came out here when I was about 8, went back home, came back again about 12, 13, went back home, came back till about 16, 17, and was stuck. And, you know, then I went back home, visit, you know, it's been stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was just a culture shock, man. And so, you know, my hospitality, where I was raised, you might not have been raised that way. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you got a person who say yes ma'am, yes sir, meet a person who be like, yo, and what's up? This, what you want to do? When you got two people meet like that on the street, like one morals is a little bit different from the other, so it becomes a clash.
tug of war. Yeah.
Right. You know, you want to like talk to the person like, what is this is about? This person feel like you patronize them because you're speaking with some sense, so that makes that person lash out on you.
Yeah.
So if you don't know how to fight, so you getting hurt. So now you got to learn how to fight. And once you learn how to fight, then you end up punishing everybody who resembled that person, right? And so then, you know, like I said, older you get, the more you think about those things. You think about, dang, man, I ain't had to do that. I could have did this. But that's what you call, I would call that like a person, a backseat driver, right? That's not in real time. That just actual like bringing back to mind of things that happen. It's different when things happen in real time. So we can sit here and talk about what I would do different, or what you can do, or what you should do. But in practical times, in real times, your mind don't work that way, right? It works that way right now because we sitting here having a conversation.
Down, and have a convo,
right. If your mind ain't programmed and trained like that, like a fight, I do jiu-jitsu, I do boxing, and I train my body to fight certain ways, and I don't have to tell my body what to do; it just automatically do it. So you gotta do your mind the same way, right? And if you forget how to do that, right, you become like everyone else. You live off of primal instinct. You forget what humanity is all about. You forget the rules and the decency, and you forget everything that your parents taught you. It's just gone.
Has there ever been a state where like you really know like your actions went to a degree that surpassed your feelings in the moment, basically? Like, how did
excuse me.
You good. Like, how did that make you feel in terms of like the before and after effects of a situation?
Oh man, yeah, man. I was one time I cussed this lady out on the train, right? She was from India somewhere, right? I had my nephew with me, and he's only, at the time, little Dougie was about 1. And so we on the train, and I guess he like went to move because the train rocked, and he touched her leg or whatever, and she pushed his hand.
Wow.
Bro, I went so cuckoo on that train, right? I called everything in the book. I said, the only thing stopped me from taking you and throwing you through this window right now is my boy right here with me, right? This little kid right here. Because I just want him to see that kind of rage and that kind of, that madness that was coming out of me, right? It was just ugly, right? And everybody on the train was like, and I was like, man, don't no one say. I just went ballistic, right? And I felt bad at that. Like, as I kept going, and as I started, winding down, and it was just one sister was like, brother, calm down, listen. And she ended up talking to the lady, and the lady said, I didn't understand because her culture and where, I don't know. I said, here in the United States, man, it's one thing you don't do. Actually, it's 3 things you don't do. You don't rape women, violate little kids, right? And you definitely do not disrespect your parents. Those are like 3 things. Those are, you just don't do that.
Right.
Abuse children, right? That stuff will get you punished here in this country, right? I don't know how they do it where you from, but we kind of love our kids, and we kind of treasure our children, whether they black, white, we treasure our children, right? So
You hear that, guys? Treasure your kids, man.
yeah, and so that kind of, you know, made me feel kind of, you know, I didn't feel good after that, man, because I said, man, I could have went about that a little bit different. I could have, you know, spoke to her in a way that I didn't have to use profanity. I didn't have to use the you're lucky that this, I don't throw your ass through this train window, right? And I could address it a little bit different, but like I said, when you know, when someone do something to a child, man,
definitely in the moment.
Yeah, in the
I know
moment,
how you feel, man.
Yeah.
I got nephews and nieces by the
Yeah.
boatload, so if someone did that to my nephews and nieces, I wouldn't know how to
Yeah,
react.
yeah. So that kind of made me, after that happened, I said, wait a minute, I need to do a little more digging. I need to you know, get to the bottom of this stuff here, man. You know, I need to be able to in a real situation at real time like that.
Mm-hmm.
I need to know how to handle a situation, right? And you know, because I'm one of the types, like I say like this here, express yourself, let that out, man, right then and there. Because I just watch people bottle that stuff up, and when they erupt, it is retarded, right? So you talk about family, friends, business, wherever they at. Once they lose it, they lose it. Why? Because they bottle all that stuff up, and they don't let it out right then and there. They don't speak their mind. They don't say it. You can speak your mind without using profanity. You should be able to verbally annihilate someone with the English vocabulary without using serious profanity. You know, so yeah.
Takes a lot of intellect for that, but yeah, you can though, definitely.
Yeah.
How would you say, like, this generation coming up, how would you help them out with, like, depression? What are ways they can cope with depression?
So, so what we have to do with this generation, because I went to some graduations last year? I think it was last year. Or was it beginning of this year? I'm not sure. I can't remember. Yeah, I think it's the beginning of this year with my sister, with my nephew, right?
Yeah.
And I met some of the most smartest little kids in my life, right? One little kid, a college one of them, he didn't even get to high school yet. They trying to take him out of, he's a tech. He put something together for a kid who had muscular sclerosis or something like that. And yo, I was like, and he did this on his free time, some technology, right? His name was Barboza or something. I think it was Barboza. The young man was from, no, he wasn't from Taunton. He was from Taunton. So I'm watching these little kids, man. My daughter, all of them, watching them. I'm like, wow, right? But then I seen something in them, right? And I'm like, some of them, not all of them. And I seen